Hey guys, Matt here. This video is going to be posted as a video response to RuneShark's Make It Back From Your Hack challenge, but it'll also be on our channel, and if you're subscribed to RuneHouse it'll pop up in your sub box. The clip that's in the background at the moment is my 60 minutes of starting with nothing from Lumbridge to make it back from your hack. Basically I decided just to do it this way with 4 times speed clips rather than having to upload 2 30-minute long videos, because I thought that might get a bit tedious to watch if it was just 60 minutes of me just doing what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'll talk you through what I've been doing. First of all, I quickly did my Squeal of Fortune spins, as you guys saw. Unfortunately, today is the only day I got what I actually wanted from the Squeal of Fortune 2 XP lamps, but I then redeemed myself by getting the Wicked Hood and crafting double astral runes to get a rune pickaxe. And as you can see right now, I'm just going into the spirit tree to get to mobilizing armies so that I can run across to the red sandstone mine, so I can make some potion flasks and get enough money to start off my method that I'm intending on doing for the rest of this video. Literally 5 minutes before this video started recording, Jagex actually released another addition to the Squeal of Fortune, and if you can see right next to my mage book before my friends list, or if you logged into RuneScape recently, you would notice that Squeal of Fortune has a tab now. And like, I wasn't around when Jagex actually removed the wilderness, but I've been on the forums while this video's been saving and such for like 30 minutes, and the amount of negative feedback Jagex is getting for introducing microtransactions to the game is just astronomical. I think that it is bad that they're encouraging gambling with real world money just to get a Squeal of Fortune spin that isn't actually, well, Squeal of Fortune spins aren't exactly a safe gamble, because I don't know many people that have gotten something worthwhile out of it other than a few thousand coins and the lamps. But that's the other side of the story, is the fact that some people believe that Jagex nerfed the effigies so that they could introduce microtransactions to the Squeal of Fortune, so that people going for max cape will just spam out hundreds of dollars to get thousands of Squeal of Fortune spins, and then just use the lamps on runecrafting or Slayer. I think that that is completely wrong. Going for the max cape myself, I'm not actually going to do that, because obviously I have financial goals in my real life as well. I want to have kids and live life, buy a house. I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on this game. I've played other games before, games with microtransactions on and off between when I was playing RuneScape, and I always came back to RuneScape because it was the only game where you didn't have to buy yourself up. And now that we have to kind of decide whether we're going to buy 75 Squeal of Fortune spins for 20 bucks Australian, 20 Australian dollars, or we're going to play legit like we have been. The negatives of the games that I've played with microtransactions, a lot of them started off with just cosmetic microtransaction items. Then things like double XP cards are introduced that you pay $5 for, and then things like damage boosters. And if RuneScape ends up like that, it's going to be very, very sad for me, because the reason RuneScape is so good is because Jagex legitimately cares about the game. For example, a boss in a game I used to play was the highest level boss in the game. I got to a fairly high level because I wanted to go kill this boss, and I assumed that the boss would be fixed, because at the time when I learnt about it, it was actually glitched, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to train to a really high level anyway. This gaming company is going to have this glitch fixed, and people are going to be able to go back to this boss by the time I get up to the high enough level to go there. Like Nex, for example. And then still to this day it's not fixed, like 3 years later. It's just horrendous. I don't know if any other gaming companies are like that, but it's just terrible for them. And I know that if Nex was glitched so hard that no one could do Nex because of one reason or another, because I don't know, maybe it's unclickable or some stupid minor glitch. I know that Jagex would have that fixed in a couple of hours. I know that they would have weekend staff in doing it. Like if RuneScape was without Nex for like one weekend, they wouldn't just pull the old excuse, oh, it wasn't office hours, no one was actually in the office of Jagex. I know that they have some staff that work shift, and I know that they would definitely not have Nex down for that long. Talking about this other game, their best boss was down for months, years. It's horrendous, and I know that Jagex would always, they've always had our back. They've always fixed our game when it needs fixing straight away. They haven't left us without the ability to hunt or buy a skill cape, or just basic gameplay has always worked. There have been little graphical glitches around and some game-changing glitches, like if you've watched Silent Core's crazy glitches videos, you see some crazy stuff like graphical glitches of Why Have a Life and this other completionist cape guy going around doing dungeoneering with a as a dragon from the emote that glitched on the completionist cape. But it hadn't changed the game or stopped us enjoying the game. If anything, it had made us enjoy the game more, because these little graphical glitches are just a little bit of a laugh for the whole 24 hours they're in the game. I guess we've just always had it so good on RuneScape, and now that it's changing, it's just a bit upsetting that they've brought the microtransactions into the game, and it makes us wonder as players, are they actually going broke? Is that why they need to introduce microtransactions? Is it to stay profitable as a business? Or is it because shareholders own the majority of Jagex now, according to a lot of people that I've spoken to in Wikipedia and such? If that's the case, it's possible that the shareholders just want a bigger money output, but it also comes down to the fact that possibly there's less members now and they're not making as much money profit as they could be, and that could be why that they're introducing microtransactions. But Jagex is never going to tell us really, so I guess there's no way for us to know. The other funny point about it was that I've seen people quoting this on the forums to Jagex. It's pretty funny because of the nature of their own rules. I'll read it out to you. Under the rule real world trading in the terms of service, Jagex says, RuneScape game items must only be exchanged for other items or services within the game. Exchanging of RuneScape game items for items, services, or other benefits in other online games for real-life money or for items or for any other real-life benefits or services is not allowed. Next paragraph. Real-world trading is the term used for a real-world purchase of services with the intention of advancing your Jagex character. This includes, but is not limited to, purchasing gold or items in RuneScape, buying a RuneScape account, as well as paying someone else to increase your account's experience in a skill or for them to complete quests and activities on your behalf. Next paragraph. Why we have this rule. We have this rule for two reasons. We don't want players to be able to buy their way into success in RuneScape. If we let players start doing this, it devalues RuneScape for others. We feel your status in real life should not affect your ability to be successful in RuneScape. Often when players sell items in RuneScape for real cash, the items are actually stolen. When a player purchases a RuneScape account, there is a high probability that the account may have been stolen. Stolen accounts will always be returned to the original owner. Now, essentially, with the introduction of the ability to buy more Squeal of Fortune spins, effectively introducing microtransactions into the game, they're breaking their own code of conduct. And that's pretty crazy. Like, can you imagine if the police were going around shooting civilians? That would just be... well, it would be on the news and it would start world wars. So, yeah. It's crazy to think about that they're saying that your real life status or financial status in real life should not affect your ability to be successful in RuneScape. And now anyone like James, Simon, me, going for the max and completionist capes is going to be at a point where we have to decide, and I've already decided no because of what I want out of life, and I'm sure that James and Simon are going to say no as well, is that we have to decide whether we're going to pay a lot more real money than what membership costs to just get a few extra spins on the Squeal of Fortune to get mass XP. over a short period of time, and it just makes our achievements a little bit devalued, like it says in Jagex's terms of service. It makes us devalued because we work hard for our stats. Everyone in RuneScape works hard for their stats unless they're a rule breaker. And we work hard for our money. And, you know, Jagex has just given everyone the ability to just devalue our work by, you know, if you're really rich in real life, or you have rich parents, or whatever it may be, you're at an advantage over people that obviously are middle or lower class citizens in whatever country you live in. I don't feel very good about that. I really hope that Jagex kind of, like, you know, fixes the problem. The problem being that I've never seen so many bad comments on a forum post, or on the forums altogether. It's pretty funny on the first page of the update post sticky by Jagex. This guy's keeping tabs. He's like 6 pages in, 69 people have posted, 0 positive comments, 0 neutral comments, 59 negative comments, and I was like, wow, that really is a pretty bad rate for Jagex. I guess it comes down to, for their business, whether the loss of members, of people that are going to quit or rage quit because of this update, will be counterbalanced by the amount of people spending money on the Squeal of Fortune. Essentially, if 60%, if they're making 110% money on what they were making yesterday, they're going to keep it. Even if the players are halved and there's just half the players and 10% of those are spending the money on the extra spins, they're obviously, it's still making them more money, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that very well. Basically, if they're making X amount of money now, and 40% of the current member players leave, but they're still making more than what they were making the other day, even with the lack of 40% of their players, they're still going to keep it, because it's obviously still more profitable for them, even if the community's essentially halved in players, which I think is pretty bad, with the amount of money they spend on employees for community management and you know, stuff like that. And I at least hope that it gets removed from my interface. I don't care so much if all of what I've said that I'm upset about is still in the game next week. I just hope that it doesn't take a spot in my interface next to my magic book, because that's really annoying, having it displayed right in your face on our interface. You know, if they had it as in the Jagex shop or something, that would just be a little bit less obvious and it wouldn't be as bad, but they've drastically changed our interface just to add this Squeal of Fortune tab, and on the forums they're just acting like they're all the good guys. Anyway, I'll talk a bit about what I've been doing on Make It Back From Your Hack. As you can see, I sold the 50 flasks from the red sandstone that I mined, and I bought a fruit bat and some fruitfall scrolls and 5 box traps and some runes, just in case I got a random event and some of the box traps got removed, so I could cast Hunter Kit spell and get my box trap back without having to bank. I am getting spikes, and I'm completely trolling the whole hunter system, because I'm occasionally cutting wood and eating rabbits, because, you know, I was getting hungry. As you do when you hunt, you get pretty hungry. So I decided to just kill some rabbits and cook them up on a wood fire and get some wood-fired bunny rabbit into my avatar's stomach, because, let's be honest, everybody loves some rabbit in their avatar's stomach. Coming up to the end of the video, I did stop at 58 minutes and 30 seconds just so I could show you my coin pouch and price check everything. So that'll be up shortly. I did make some arrow shafts just to completely take the piss out of Hunter for some stupid reason. I was just, you know, trying not to waste any of those game ticks, and I totally made an extra 3k. I probably would have made more money if I just kept spamming Fruitful Scroll and had some extra papayas in my inventory, but, you know, that's okay. It was all just for a bit of a laugh for me at the time, and hopefully, you know, it made you guys laugh as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to take Jagex's own advice and just say nay to gambling. Happy scaping!